Okay, this video is just about your exam. I know everybody's a little stressed out about that. Um, so I've made some decisions. Hopefully, uh, you'll feel happy about them. Okay, so in my face-to-face class, um, we have lots of quizzes every week. We have um, presentations where you actually, diagnose somebody. You have a partner, and then you explain the diagnoses, and then you go through a treatment plan and all that. You have two papers. It's very different. Um, but but one of the things that I think is important about the face-to-face class is not just memorization of symptomology. Uh, they do that in quizzes, but and you should be memorizing the symptomology of at least the primary diagnoses that we go over. But I think that it's the application of that knowledge that is so important. And you'll be doing your paper later, but you won't be doing a presentation where you're actually getting that experience of diagnosing a partner in a case and trying that out. So here's what I thought. Originally, I was going to make the two tests, the one this week and the one at the end of the summer semester, or if we use this again, any semester. I was going to make the tests multiple choice. Um, but I think that's like a lot of memorization and kind of a dumping of whatever you memorized for the exam. I'm not sure how well you'll retain that knowledge, which in my mind is mastery learning. That's the important thing. It also takes a little control away from the student. It's like a one-time shot. It's whatever grade you get, you get. I can't help you out with an exam score. I can allow you to redo a discussion post. I can allow you to rewrite your paper. All that stuff moves more in line with mastery learning. So here's my idea for at least this exam. Um, I'm going to choose three major categories of diagnoses. Like if we choose depression, okay, um, and we'll do this 3 different times, okay. Um, what I'd like you to think about is how are you going to differ? So first, think about a case. Make up a case, okay? An imaginary case in your mind, not a real case. If you have experience, you can base it on that, but really, just a made-up case. Don't copy it from a book or the internet or anything like that. Make up your own case. And first of all, think about what you need to include in an assessment. I know an entire assessment would be too long for, an exam with 3 of these questions on it. But pick out questions and, you know, so it's going to look like this. You're going to have a little bit of history of the client, why they came into the session, part 1. Part 2, tell me a little bit about the assessment. that helped you to differentiate between the different kinds of, in this case, depression. The next question, it'll be a different diagnosis. But why major depression? Why a different kind of depression? You know, what helped you to differentiate in that diagnosis, in your assessment? How'd you know it was one and not the other? And it could be whichever one you want. I just want to know how you could tell the difference. In my mind, diagnosis is first remembering the criteria for all of the different diagnoses, but second, it's able to differentiate between the different kinds of diagnoses. Why this diagnosis and not another one? And then, how would you, so go through all the different criteria, okay? Why this diagnosis, not the other? What led you to believe this in the assessment? What in the assessment met this criteria but not the other criteria? And then, how would you describe this to the client? And hey, just do a little search at our library online. What's the best way to treat this diagnosis? What would you do with the client over the next 8 weeks? So we're looking at 3 paragraphs, basically. We're looking at history of the client, what brought them in. We're looking at assessment and diagnostic criteria. Third paragraph, we're looking at a little bit of a treatment plan. So 3 paragraphs for each question, each diagnosis, and you're going to have 3 different questions, 3 different diagnoses. You're going to make all the cases up. I hope this gives you a little more control. You can look in the DSM, you can look at the library, but please just don't copy anything, you know, unless you quote it, you know, from the library journal or from the DSM. But, you know, don't copy anything from a book or the internet. Put it in your words. And I might add, please use professional language. My client, John Doe, came in to the session with a presenting problem of blah, blah, blah. This is a little bit of the case history. You can label the 3 paragraphs, you know, case history, diagnosis or differential diagnosis and criteria, and treatment plan. So I hope this helps. I'm also going to type this out for you and put it in a Word document, not like a Google document or something like that, and submit it. If for some reason something doesn't work, I am new at creating Dropboxes. If it doesn't work, don't panic. Just email it to me. No big deal. Okay? All right. If you have any questions, email me. I'll answer them. Okay? And we'll keep this week short as far as diagnoses. You still have to do the discussion post, but I know this paper is going to take, or exam, is going to take a little bit of work. So you can keep your discussion post short and spend most of your time on the exam. So open book with the DSM, use the library, read some journals for treatment, and I hope this helps ease some of your worries and concerns. Email me with questions.